We have all heard stories of haunted houses. Some of you might have even witnessed some weird activities in dark areas in the night. Imagine a family of dogs who had been trapped in an abandoned house like that, with no food, watering cold, with no one to look after them. Most of us find dogs adorable. Sometimes we can bear looking at humans in pain, but dogs going through a tough ordeal can break our hearts. And these newborn puppies were living in a house so strange that its aura is capable of making any human feel scared. These were dogs who had just taken birth in this world. When the rescuers came to know about these dogs, they went to the house, and what they found inside, well, you could only believe when you see it too. They accept it as one of the strangest experiences of their lives. They are glad they made it out. What happened to them? And why did the mother dog freak out and kept barking at them when they were trying to rescue the family? There is an abandoned house somewhere in Missouri. None of the neighborhood kids even dare to venture near it. No one knows how long it has been since the house has been abandoned. What makes the place look weirder is the fact that apart from being abandoned, the house is partially caved in and a strange smell comes out of the place. Imagine when from a place like this, people started hearing fanatical and continuous barking. The barking did not even stop in the night. It went on like this when one day someone called the dog rescuers to see what the matter was. An unknown person contacted the stray rescue of St. Louis so that they could come and rescue the dog that was there in this creepy house. This organization is located in Missouri, the USA, on the Pine Street. It was established in 1998 with the aim of taking care of all stray or abandoned animals and providing them with either families or foster homes. Currently, almost 300 animals they rescued are in foster homes. They prefer to look after innocent animals instead of euthanizing them needlessly. They believe that the lives of animals are as important as humans, and we should not disregard these beings because they cannot speak for themselves. None of these people could have known what they were going to witness in that abandoned house. Randy Grimm had rescued a number of homeless puppies and dogs from a long time. Then he found Stray Rescue of St. Louis in 1998. And since then, this NGO has gathered the support of 1,000 volunteers who rescue animals in need from across the city. Randy Grimm said, "Pets from stray rescues seem to understand that they have a second lease on life. In return for a little affection and attention, these remarkable animals reward their new owners with love and loyalty unmatched anywhere." When they received the call to rescue this dog from the sad house, he, along with his companion Donna, wasted no time and went ahead to help the dog in need. They didn't know what awaited them. Randy Grimm and Donna were not concerned about the location of the house. All they cared about was the well-being of his dog. They even started recording the entire incident on videos, which can be found ahead in the slides. Randy's first recorded video is of outside the house, and he says that they could not spot the dog, and that they thought there were newborn puppies there too. He said, "Wish us luck." And with that, he took his camera out to record his entire rescue operation. He and Donna were not ready for what they saw in the house. There was no sign of any human in and about the house. All that could be heard was incessant barking which Randy and Donna guessed came from the mother dog. As they drew nearer to the house, the stench coming from it overpowered them. They could just feel that something was wrong with the house. It smelled like something had been rotting inside it for a long time. No wonder no humans came near it. The strong smell acted as the first barrier in the place, but that was not their only problem. When they finally made their way to the entrance, the duo encountered another issue. When they reached the front door, Randy and Donna found that their path was blocked. There was a lot of mess. Majorly, some sort of wood that was blocking the entrance to the house. Meanwhile, they could hear the small but desperate bark of puppies and loud angry bark of what only could be their mom. Both started wondering about how they would get in. Then Randy had an idea. She thought that there is a chance that there was a back door to the house through which they could get in. But before they could start making their way to the back door, the mother dog lost it. Randy and Donna had located two puppies trapped in the wild bushes near the entrance. They started to coax them into coming towards them, but just then trapped somewhere above the mother dog started barking angrily at these intruders. She did not know how these humans were, and her overprotective motherly instincts came into play. She was warning Randy and Donna to stay away from her puppies, but both these rescuers are trained, instead of getting scared. They determined to enter this creepy house somehow and find whoever else was trapped there, but nothing could have prepared them for the sight that greeted their eyes. The first two puppies they saw made these words come out of Donna's mouth. They are adorable men. The puppies were really cute, but at the same time, being born and living in the house like that had done something to their bodies. Randy and Donna had to take a closer look to understand what was up, but from what they had seen till now, they could tell that the health condition of these pups was not good. Even after looking at Mama Dog, they could tell she was not quite alright. After struggling with the front gate entrance, Randy and Donna made to the back door, finally after kicking it in. They gained entrance to what was to become the weirdest rescue of their lives. They could not believe what they saw when Randy came in the house. He's recorded on the video saying that, "I am in the most terrifying house." It looked like it had abandoned ages ago, and from the stuff that Randy and Donna found lying around, it was clear that not all legal activities were happening in that house. "It's a black pit." These are the words Randy used to describe the sorry excuse of a house they were in. And yes, there were dismembered skulls and body bones in the house. They did not appear to be of humans, but then whose was it? Randy and Donna wanted to get out of the place as soon as possible, so they focused on just rescuing the dog and the puppies. They wanted nothing to do with dead animals and skulls. But even rescuing the dog family was not an easy task. The mother was giving them a hard time. The walls of the house they were in were literally crumbling around Randy and Donna. It smelled and was extremely filthy. It broke Randy's heart to see that the dogs had been taking refuge in such a pathetic place. The mother dog moved inside when Randy and Donna came in. She kept barking at first, but then she started gauging every step that Randy made. She looked confused as to who these beings were or should they be trusted. Something about him told her that he was not a threat. Maybe it was the way he was speaking to her. When Randy started throwing food to the mother dog, she started eating it like she had been hungry for days. She gobbled huge chunks of meat pieces within seconds. It was when she drew closer that Randy noticed that she was pathetically malnourished. Her bones were showing from her body. There were problems with her skin too. Large patches of her body hair were removed. How did that happen? Was it something in the house? While Randy was struggling with the mother, Donna was trying to find other pups in the spooky basement of the house. Randy was gaining success in pacifying the mother dog. By now he had earned her trust and was now feeding her out of his hands. At one of these instances, Randy managed to slip a leash around her neck so that he could guide her outside. Donna asked him, "Does it help to reason with them, Randy?" And he replied, "Of course it does. Dogs are after all emotional creatures. They can sense affection." It's sad when Randy says she has probably never had a kind touch in the world. Their task was not even half done yet. Randy took the mother dog out. Meanwhile, Donna found two puppies underneath a rubble of debris. As soon as they saw Donna's flashlight, they started crawling towards it. It was like a ray of sunshine for them. They crawled right into Donna's hand. She heard the sounds of other pups and knew that there were several more trapped in the various corners of this creepy house. She followed the cries of one of them and found one in the same room, caught under a bulk of woods, but the cries kept coming. Animals rescuers need to have really sharp senses, because not all animals can make loud cries for help. If they are not alert and observant enough, they could be responsible for an innocent animal's death. Donna has a really keen sense of hearing. Puppies were hidden and trapped at the most unexpected locations, but she followed her ears and found the last one behind it. What could have been the store of the house? They found total 7 of them. These puppies were all covered in filth, and some were seriously unwell. What was to be their fate? When the mother and the pups were brought out in the sun, then was their actual condition really visible to Randy and Donna? Which was really grave. Patches of hair were missing from their skins, and some of the pups were hungry to the point of death. The rescuers knew they would have to do something, and that too soon. They brought the family back to their center, and with the help of volunteers started cleaning them up. Randy had saved the mama dog's and her family's life, and he had treated her with affection previously unknown to her. She kept coming to his lap even when in the hospital. He said, "She's like my best friend in the world," and named her Solar. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.